Have you ever wanted to build your own workout plan, but you have no idea where to even start? Well, in this video today, I'm going to show you how to create a workout plan like a pro. I have my bachelor's degree in exercise science. I've been a personal trainer for about 8 years now, so I have a lot of experience with creating workout plans. I know it can be overwhelming, so let's break it down into some easy steps. First step, figure out your goal for working out. Is it build muscle, lose weight, build strength? Is it just to get healthier overall? Figure out what it is. Focus on that one specific goal. Now, you might have more than one goal, or some of these goals might be overlapping. Like, yes, you want to build strength, but you also want to get healthier. Or yes, you want to build muscle, but you also want to lose weight. And sometimes you can accomplish two things at once. Like, sometimes you can get stronger, and as a byproduct of getting stronger, you will get healthier. But also, sometimes it is better to focus on one at a time. For example, if you want to lose weight and build muscle, it's better to focus on one or the other. It isn't impossible to do them both at the same time, but there's only specific people that can. If you want to know more info about that, go watch my video about body recomposition after this video. But for now, let's just keep it simple. I do want this video to be more for beginners who don't really know where to start, so I'm gonna keep this very beginner friendly. Also, if you ever want to change your goal later, you can rotate these goals. Like, you can for a few months focus on building muscle, and then the next few months focus on losing weight, or vice versa. Next, let's figure out our frequency. As a beginner, I would recommend starting with 1 to 4 days. If you go from not going to the gym at all to planning on going every single day, girl, you're in for a world of trouble, because you're just gonna get really burnt out really fast. It's pretty less likely that you're going to be able to sustain that long term. So it's better to start slow, and you can always add more days in once you build out the habit. But first of all, you've got to start to build the habit of going to the gym, period. So even just going 1 day a week for 4 weeks is better than not going at all. Even if you set a small goal that you feel less overwhelmed by, it's better than setting a huge goal that's just gonna overwhelm you and stop you from doing it altogether. Start small, maybe 1 to 2 days. You can always add in a third day or a fourth day, and be realistic about how many days you can go per week. Maybe you work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, so it's not going to be likely that you'll be able to go 6, 7 days a week, right? Maybe you only have 2 days off, and on your off days, that's when you go work out. But also recognize the things that you are able to move around your schedule. When you're working for somebody, you don't really have much variability there. Like, you can't really change your own work schedule unless maybe you request, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that's not as easy to change as it would be to change something that is less of an obligation. If you spend 6, 7 nights a week laying on your couch at night watching Netflix for hours, like, let's be real. That's something that you can change. You can sacrifice that in order to reach your gym goals. You could still do it maybe 1, 2 days a week, but you don't have to do that every single night or almost every single night. You can change that around so that you have time to go to the gym, because sometimes you just have to make time for it. Next thing, figuring out which workout split you want to do, because there's a few different kinds. There's a full body split where you just go and every time you work out, you hit all the muscle groups, you just do the full body. Or you could do a push-pull leg split, which is where, let's say you're working out 3 days a week. The first day, you're going to do pushing movements, so chest, shoulders, and triceps. The second day, you're going to do pulling movements, back and biceps. And the third day, you're going to do, of course, legs. That's another way you could do it. But typically for beginners, I do recommend you just do full body 1 to 2 times a week, maybe 3 times a week, because the other ones, they can get a little more complicated, and if you're not as experienced with working out, it can get a little confusing. Whatever split you do, just make sure you have 48 hours of rest in between muscle groups. That's generally the recommendation. So if you hit legs, wait at least 48 hours to hit legs again. Now let's start writing the actual program. First of all, we have to have a warm-up. 5 to 10 minutes of dynamic stretching. I know a lot of people, before they start working out, they will do what is called static stretching, where you hold the stretch. That's actually been shown to cause more harm than good. It can increase your chances of getting injured. So do some dynamic movements, some mobility work. You can get on the treadmill, you can get on the bike, anything that's like a little bit of light cardio, but only 5 to 10 minutes, because this is just a warm-up. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to exhaust all of your energy. Save that for the actual workout. And it's very, very important that you incorporate a warm-up, because so many people skip this, and skipping the warm-up altogether can also increase your chance of injury. You want to get your body ready for the movement that it's about to do. You want to get some blood flowing, get your heart rate up. It's really going to help protect you. Next up, we're going to select our exercises that we want to do. So I would recommend no more than 6 exercises. Some people might think you have to go crazy. I think that's why people might get a little overwhelmed when it comes to starting at the gym, because they might feel like they don't have the time, because it's going to take so long. They have to do all these exercises. But no, you could get in and out of the gym in 45 minutes to an hour. You could do 4 to 6 6 exercises, and there is scientific evidence that that is enough to see results. So don't do too little. Don't go in and only do 1 exercise, but you also don't need to go in and do 20 exercises. It's just unnecessary. It's like past the point of seeing results. At that point, it's probably actually gonna hurt you more than it's gonna help you. Sometimes less is more. When it comes to picking which exercises you want to do, I would recommend for beginners, start with machines. They're the easiest to understand. The form, it literally usually has instructions on the machine of how to perform the exercise. It's less likely that you will get hurt because it's a fixed movement. It doesn't take as much technique or skill, and if you're new to the gym, you probably don't have those techniques built up yet. You will build them up, but you don't have it yet, and that's okay. Machines just help you get the form down a lot better, and they're safer. So I would recommend machines, and they're still effective. Start with compound movements first. Compound movements are exercises that work more than one muscle group / joint at a time, and they usually take the most amount of effort. So of course you want to start with what takes the most amount of effort first, because why would you wait till you're all burnt out at the end of the workout to do those, right? Compound movements are things like squats, leg press, deadlifts, bench press. Those are all compound movements, and some of those might be too advanced for you right now, but you will work your way up to doing them. So when you do get there, remember to do them first. The last thing you want to do is the core. It's been also shown that doing ab or core exercises first can also increase your risk for injury, because you use your core on pretty much every exercise. It's the same principle as doing the compound exercises first. You don't want to burn out your core and then you have no energy or no strength left to be able to use it properly for all the following exercises that you're going to do. So save it for last. Now, this is a very controversial debate. Everybody wants to know, do I do cardio first or do I do weights first? Well, I would recommend cardio after weights. That's just my personal recommendation. That doesn't apply to everybody, but it does also depend on your main goal. If you want to build your endurance and you want to be more of like a sprinter, or you're trying to get better at running or something like that, then sure, you could do cardio first. But generally, I feel like weights require you to have a lot more energy, because if you don't and you're really tired, I just feel like it's more likely that you'll get injured. You can also get injured during cardio, of course, but I prefer to do weights first. And you can try out both and just see what your preference is. Another factor can be whatever you know you are less likely to do. If you know you're gonna lift your weights and then afterwards notice that you tend to avoid cardio, you just leave after, then maybe you do want to do cardio first, because that way you don't have the choice to skip it. I just think it's all personal preference. I don't think there's a one size fits all answer to this question, so just figure out what works for you. Then we need to have a cool down. This is where you do the static stretches. You can hold them for about 30 seconds. You don't have to do like an hour of stretching. You can just do maybe even 10 minutes. It's really good to cool down your body after an exercise because it helps relieve the lactic acid. It will help improve your flexibility. It will help improve your next workout overall. Helps reduce soreness. Definitely add a cool down with some stretching at the end of your workouts. Now let's talk about rest days. Rest days, you want to pick beforehand what your rest days are going to be, because if not, if you just take rest days whenever, it's less likely you're going to stick to your workout plan, because sometimes we don't feel like going to the gym, so we just take a rest day. But if you're supposed to work out that day and you miss your workout and you start to build up that habit, you start to do that consistently, then you're not going to see results from this workout plan, because if you don't do the workout plan, then of course you're not going to see the results. So pick which days are going to be your rest days. That way, on the days that you don't feel motivated, you're still able to push yourself, because if you're just going off vibes, if you're like, I don't feel like going, so I'm not going to go, then that will sometimes lead to you failing and not seeing the results that you want to see from your fitness goals. Some days, even if you don't feel like it, you still gotta go. Might I add a very, very important tip? If you are not sleeping properly and you're not getting the proper nutrition, you also can't expect your workout plan to work. This plan won't work unless you do. That was so cheesy. That was so cheesy. Oh my god. But it's true. If you don't also have those other keys, your plan isn't going to be as effective, because you need sleep to rebuild your muscles to recover. If you don't have recovery as part of your plan, then it's just not going to work as well, or at all. It might not work at all. Sleep and nutrition are important aspects of recovery. When you're working out, when you're lifting weights, that is literally your muscles tearing. When you do bicep curls, the reason that your biceps start to hurt and feel like they're burning is because the muscles literally tearing down. Then when you sleep and you eat protein or you eat food afterwards, it helps build it back up. That's how the muscle grows bigger. That's how people get bigger muscles. And girls, don't worry. My ladies watching, they're not gonna grow overnight huge and the next morning you're gonna wake up with huge biceps. It's not how it works at all. It's very slow growth, very minimal. It's not just gonna all happen overnight, especially for ladies, because we don't have the same testosterone as men. But we're not gonna talk about testosterone today. Just know you're not gonna turn into Arnold from lifting once, twice, 500 times, 1,000 times, you're not gonna turn into Arnold. I really hope this video helped you. Go watch this next video about body recompositioning, and I will see you on the next one.